Did you drop below the belt?
Yeah, I don't. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks now. Not give a fuck.
You know why I listen to it? Because I'm so caught up on my podcast all the time. I'm almost scrambling.
If I was caught up on my podcast, I'd probably listen to it. But
I'm at the point when I start a Rogan, like when I go to the YouTube to start the video, it only has like 5,000 views.
Oh my god,
that's how quick I am.
No, actually,
that's how quick I am, bro.
The Bad Friends I watch pretty much immediately. I always find that it comes out right when I finish lunch on Mondays. When I get back from my lunch break, it comes out. The video, the audio is always out early.
Yeah, the audio is right in the morning.
Audio is out like the night before.
Okay,
like the night before, instantly.
That's always the first podcast on Monday that's out.
It's the video that takes longer. So I wait for the video. I love the video. Like I love seeing what's her face's reaction. I love her reactions. Kill me, dude.
Rudy or Jules, or is it both?
I think Rudy is her nickname. Juliana is her real name, and then Jules is another nickname, right? But Tito Andro.
Yeah, Tito Bobby. Tito Bobby. Bobby Lee is so funny.
Dude, that show easily the bet, like top 3 shows for me now. Dude,
Bobby
I
Lee,
love their chemistry.
His voice, he's like the guy that you should put into where people are dying in the hospital. Because his laugh alone will just bring you happiness and joy. He literally has a child innocence to his laughter. Yeah. Like I love when he cracks up. Even the last episode, he's like, do the accent. Yeah. He fucking died when he did the hero.
Especially after like they were just ripping that girl apart. Fuck, that killed me.
Poor.
I want to be ninja.
Dude, the first episode when Santino kept randomly playing it for like the first 10 minutes, like Bobby Lee just goes silent. He's
I want to be ninja.
I was dying.
Dude, I love that fucking show. It's so good.
The dynamic between them is too good.
That show and Cats, I'll watch like the day of. Because Cats comes out Friday, and it's like out by the time they actually premiere it at midnight, Thursday midnight, going into Friday.
Oh, okay. The audio probably comes out Thursday, right? It's supposed to be a Thursday podcast. I always look at it as a Thursday, but then I'm like, it's always out on Friday.
Yeah, videos out for Friday for digestion, so I watch those two day of.
Rogan, Morning Combat, and
that's
Cats.
weird because I do Rogan. I usually keep for audio unless I got nothing else to do.
I might change it. Simply because Rogan used to have like a big video element, but now YouTube, like
they demonetized
even the other day, he's like, "Oh, here it is. Here, look at this, and then all you're seeing is his reaction. You're like, "Where's the video?"
Yeah, that's why I feel like it doesn't matter anymore. They do sometimes bring up like a snippet of it. They'll show like a split second or something of it,
or if it's some guy who's on the pod, if it's his video, then they can play it all.
I'm interested to know what it's going to change like when he switches over to Spotify with the video.
Oh, he just Spotify said YouTube clips.
YouTube clips.
Spotify's apparently adding a video component.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah,
pretty much. Well, I guess they'll do it for others
but he can still do YouTube clips. If you're Rogan, this is like the best deal in the world because you still own all your shit. It's just licensing, but you could still put YouTube clips out, which are more views than your full video. So it's like, wait, I get 150 million to just do the same shit.
Yeah. No, dude, it's...
apparently, I heard 190, 3 years. I heard 190, 3 years.
I heard it might even be even more. Like, we're talking like 250, 300. It could be even more than that. Like, it's stupid the amount.
Dude, that's like 65 million a year.
But, yo, you got to see it.
65 million.
You have to see how quickly the views roll in for, like, a Joe Rogan. Especially when it's, like, a high-profile person. Even that Dave Chappelle thing that came out recently, when Netflix released it on YouTube, they didn't release it through Netflix. When they released it on YouTube, within 20 hours, they had 1 million views on it. Within 20 hours, maybe
that's
even
like
less.
A Rogan podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Based on whoever the guest is, right? And
that's actually the video of the full length podcast, not even a clip. Clips get even more.
They have JRE Clips, which is a different account from the actual JRE like podcast.
He's Oprah big. He's literally like Oprah big at this point. He has influence.
He should just drop the commentating gig and just do Fight Companions.
You should.
There's no point in doing. I don't mind. I don't really care for the commentaries. I love Anik. Anik is always going to be my number one. I love Paul Felder.
I don't like that. You know why? When he does the Fight Companions, he doesn't pay enough attention and fucks off too much. And then so his fight insight is not that great.
No, but here's another thing. When he did some of these ones, he's kind of just half-assing. Like most, I'd say maybe 25% of the card he actually legitimately gives a fuck about and knows most about those guys. But then when he's like commentating a fucking Hannah Cypher's fight, he barely knows about Hannah Cypher's other than what he's seen.
How I do like I would actually prefer him still on the broadcast because it keeps him in check. When they get too goofy, just stops paying attention. And he still has some of that, like, shoot the shit type vibe with DC. So when it's him and DC,
have a good time together.
It's like the best of both worlds between a fight companion and like a broadcast.
I want to know if they've done Felder and DC yet, because that would be an interesting pair. Because I love Felder is kind of like that too. He's like the white version of DC almost, because there are times where he'll just fuck off and talk about random shit. He goes, "Oh, that guy's wearing a great shirt. I gotta point that out." Shit like that. Like, I love him and Dan Hardy are fucking great.
Yeah,
him and Dan Hardy are good.
Cruz just feels like lighten up a bit. But why so serious? All the time. Like
I think DC brings it out of him a little bit, like the fun side.
Cruz is just too serious, and it's like he doesn't care about goofing. It's like he just wants to show how good he is.
Yeah, just have fun.
Yeah, just relax.
That's why people like DC. That's why people like Paul Felder. Like, they still bring the technical analysis, but they have like the goofy. They just fuck off.
Because DC sounds like some old black guy on the couch just commentating on shit that doesn't know anything. Yeah. But then that's his vibe. But then he'll bust out all the technical details.
The telestrator thing fucking kills me too.
Dude, the last event when he missed it, he's like pause right here, okay. And then as you see, he ducks the left. He's like, oh no, I missed it. Oh my god, I missed it. That was my one moment. I missed it. And he does that voice thing where he starts like, oh my god,
yeah. Him and Ariel have a show now too, right? They've been doing it for the past couple weeks, but I think they release that every Thursday. They have really good chemistry too.
Okay,
I love Ariel and DC. Those guys. That's actually, I do have it a part of my rotation, but sometimes I'll skip it if I'm falling too far behind. If you're caught up on podcasts, that's the one.
If I drop one, it would be Below the Belt, simply because
I don't care about that.
Because even his when he opens up about his life and shit, he repeats it on Fighter and the Kid.
Exactly.
So I would hear Below the Belt and then hear Fighter and the Kid, and he's just telling Brian what he already told us.
I don't really care for his MMA takes as much anymore.
Well, because he doesn't have an informed MMA take.
Well, he just learns of it on the spot and then tries to come up with something right off the bat.
He knows pretty much as like someone in between casual and hardcore. But because he's fought, he has like people think he's got a good opinion and he has an audience for it. It's like, you don't know what the fuck you're saying.
And he doesn't have enough, like, him and Callan have great chemistry where they're actually able to crack jokes and do all that stuff. He just, when he tries to crack jokes on Below the Belt, it just doesn't come off that well. Like, Chin doesn't really try to get with it much.
It cracks me up when it's so obvious that even Kat and Chin are rolling their eyes. You can see, you can catch those moments even through the audio where like every time Brennan would be like, fuck this Corona, who gives a shit? You could tell Chin is like, ugh, you're an idiot, bro, you're an idiot. And you can tell Chin just doesn't want to say anything.
I'm done listening to them talk about Corona. I'm done.
Yeah, that's 100%.
I'm done. Rogan, don't really care about it anymore. Well, obviously I listen to Rogan, but like, even if they talk about Corona, I'll skip through it. I'm just like, I'm done. I already know your fucking stance on it. I'm good.
And not to mention, it's not that relevant. Like, in like a year, it's not going to be very relevant.
Yeah.
This is going to come and go. Okay, whatever. You can get the info. Bill Burr is like that. He was on the podcast.
I didn't listen to that yet. I want to listen to it. Of course you're done. It's on my queue. I know.
Like, done.
Well, he had two things that came out recently, right? That's what he was promoting. He was promoting his show and
it was a
movie.
weird podcast, though, a bit. Rogan was so low energy.
Oh.
Like, you could tell he was kind of like checked out and not interested in
it.
But it was a lot of, because even Rogan was saying at the end, he's like, okay, well, this was a good like therapy session, because Bill Burr was doing a lot of like talking about him and during Corona, I figured myself, I'm trying to work on things about myself and things like that. And
it's not the Bill Burr that we kind of know.
It just felt like after a while, maybe Rogan wasn't expecting the podcast to go that way, and he kind of just checked out mentally. Like, he was super low energy.
He's been on there before, and they have a great fucking time, and it's a great podcast.
Well, even there's a couple of times Rogan was like, wow, I've never seen you so like introspective, like you're doing, and he kept pointing it out, and then you could tell he's like, okay, bro, like, be Bill Burr a bit, like, fuck.
Give me the Burr.
And he was still Bill Burr, but there was a lot more of that deep shit versus like him being angry and ranting.
I'm still going to listen to it just because I like Bill Burr.
Good. But it was, I'd say like 90% Bill Burr talking. Huh. Yeah, Rogan did not talk much at all.
That's weird. I know Burr and Kreischer have a podcast too. Yeah. The Bill Burr podcast. It's such a trip. But they had Bob Saget on one of their podcasts recently.
Dude, when I heard they had a podcast together, I was like, what? Like, I would never picture Burr and Bill to be that close. Like,
I know. They seem like two totally opposite type of guys.
I would think if it was the Comedy Store, Bert is that guy that Bill just doesn't give a fuck about or wants to acknowledge or show any respect to because he thinks he's just that fat goof in the corner.
Yeah.
And like Bert can't do like he's always just trying to like get his approval and can't. Like that's how I would think the
and then they got a fucking podcast.
And then I was like, oh wow, Bert actually likes.
I think
Bert.
they have like a common liking of cigars and drinking whiskey.
One funny part, Burr was just complimenting Callan. And then Rogan was like,
he had to shit on him.
He was like, dude, there was this one thing, and it was a story about the bow and arrow. He's like, dude, Callan, I don't know how he did this. He was talking so confident, and he like picked up the bow and he shot, and it was like a perfect shot. And Rogan's like, wait, Brian Callan? He's like, dude, I bought him a bow and arrow. He never uses it. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And he's like, yo, I don't know. Okay, I know what I saw. Right? And so Rogan's trying to like bring him down, and Burr's like, I think you should have a better opinion of Callan. And all I picture is Callan watching this, like, yes, Bill.
The funniest thing, whenever Callan's brought up in any podcast, there's always one person that's shitting on him playfully, but shitting on him, like Bad Friends. Santino's always the one fucking talking shit about him. D'Elia's always talking shit about him. Byron.
I don't know why that kills me so much. It shouldn't be that funny.
His lack of wanting to get his name right fucking kills me.
I remember one time they brought up like D'Elia. He's like, oh. Like instantly his reaction was like, oh, we don't say his name here. Okay?
Yeah.
He's just so
Chips Delano, I think they call
it. It's so funny how they hate on it. Even Theo, when he'll randomly bring up like D'Elia.
Yeah.
When he's like, bro, this guy canceled his tours because he had a cold.
Yeah. I love the playful ripping on each other, but like they're boys and they'll all fucking like still have podcasts and shit together. That's fucking great. I honestly think, actually, I don't know, a Theo and D'Elia podcast, if they did one together, like Bill and Tom are doing one, or Bert and Tom are doing one.
I think it'll get old. No, if it was like once a month or something, probably better.
I think that's what Bill and Bert are doing.
Dude, they need D'Elia and Callan.
D'Elia and Callan. Yo, it's coming. The 3-minute podcast or 10-minute podcast is coming back.
Okay.
I think they're just waiting for this corner shit to go over, but I think it's coming back.
Give me 1 hour a week.
That's true.
Fuck this 10-minute shit. Give me a full hour.
Since I've been falling behind on my podcast, I haven't been able to go back to 10-minute podcasts since like that time I was telling you that I was like killing it.
It's been a while for me.
Yeah. But I have it on. I've been playing it on my Spotify, so I know exactly where I'm at because it'll tell you which ones you've already listened to.
I think I'm at like 24.
Yeah. See, you got it.
I was YouTubing it.
Yeah. All right, let's actually get into MMA talk because that's what the fuck most people are here for. So let's do that. We had UFC Vegas 2 go down last night. We'll start off on the bottom of the card. We'll just skim through it because we skimmed through pretty much the entire card.
If you wrote the fucking card out, where's the top of the card? Which one's the bottom of it?
Yo, besides the name value that it lacked, there were some really good finishes and some decent fights on here. Yeah. So let's give it that due. So we'll quickly go over it. Anthony Ivy loses to Christian Aguilera. Both guys making their UFC debuts. Aguilera just goes in there and just bum rushes him. TKOs him in less than a minute. Tyson Nam right after that goes up there in first round KOs. 32 seconds, Zaruk Adeshev. Weird fight, just due to the fact that Zaruk, this was only his fifth MMA fight ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a glory kickboxer, but like his first ever MMA fight was a rear naked choke loss. Then he went out there and all in Bellator, went out there and finished 3 guys or got 3 victories.
Okay. They were trying to give him a favorable matchup though because it's a stand-up
But
guy.
but he also, Zaruk also stepped in at super short notice because Tyson Nam was supposed to fight Benoit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Benoit pulled out earlier this week. Yeah, pulled out earlier this week. Julia Avila, I love this girl. I love this girl.
Like what?
Dude, minus 600. Obviously, she went out there and fucking murked that bitch in 22 seconds.
Stormed her.
But yo, do you know anything about Julia Avila?
I've heard the name. I've seen a couple of her fights. I don't know much about
First MMA fight, beats Marion Renault.
Oh, wow.
Third MMA fight, beats Nico Montano in a 5-round fight.
Oh, shit.
And that right after that, Montano goes into the Ultimate Fighter and wins the Ultimate Fighter. I don't know why Avila didn't go into the Ultimate Fighter, but literally right after that fight is
probably better for her that she doesn't. What do you have to gain from that shit?
Yeah, and then her only loss, I think she's 8-1. Her only loss came 40 seconds hand injury. The girl did like a front kick and hit her hand, compound injury, bone coming out of the thing, and she tried hiding it from the ref, but the ref saw it. And then
that's why it got stopped. Wow.
Yeah. So then the ref saw it, and then
so she's a badass,
dude. She's like waving around at the camera and shit. She goes, "It doesn't hurt. I'm fine." She came back.
She looked like hard. Like you don't want to fuck with this chick.
She's crazy. The last thing about that, she went over to her opponent to show her, and her opponent's just like, no, like just so disgusted and mad that she showed her.
She just retires. Like, I did that?
Yeah. She's like, fuck that shit.
Traumatized.
But yeah, and then she comes back and then she's just been killing it since then too. She just hasn't been able to get a secure enough schedule. Like she made her debut in June of last year or July of last year. She should already have 3 or 4 fights in UFC. And I think that she's not ranked at 135 yet, but with a couple more fights, she could absolutely be up there for contention. She could be there for sure.
She just stormed that girl. Solar plexus, I think, hurt her and then just mauled.
She's so good. I'm a huge fan of her. So I'm really looking forward to what they're going to be doing with her next, because 135 definitely needs a little bit of juice, especially after Amanda Nunes has just been wrecking bitches at 145 and 135, right? There's nobody that really stands out other than the Shevchenko fight, right? So when people are talking about they need another contender at 135, I think Avila is a dark horse that's slowly going to get there with a couple more fights. So that's somebody to look out for. Merab Dvalishvili goes out there and absolutely 30-26s. Gustavo Lopez.
He does what Dvalishvili does.
Exactly. But dude, 13 takedowns, dude. He breaks his own record for most fights.
Fair enough. Like, people always keep talking about that, but skill set wise, this guy's not that good.
He has cardio, really wrestling, and pace.
But even his wrestling, he sucks at holding guys down.
That's why he's getting 13 takedowns. Yeah,
because people keep getting him right back up.
But he's the just fact cardio. That he's able to continuously get
cardio. It's his pace. This guy fights a top 15 guy. He's fucked. I think. Like
I think he can make
top
it
10. His skill set is.
He's 135, right? I'm pretty sure.
I will say his striking looked better. It was crisper this fight.
Yeah, but I do agree with you though. A more technical guy will actually be able to catch him. He's a 135er. So let's do it.
When you're fighting a guy this low level and you want to climb the rankings, you got to just maul, run through him, quick finish. But this was like every fight is just long cardio thing.
I want to take a quick look into seeing in the top 15 who I think he would beat and who he wouldn't. So Sean O'Malley could absolutely land on him and finish
I think Sean O'Malley knocks this guy out.
Song Yadong, I think
Song Yadong's better.
I think Dvalishvili would be able to
actually, you know what? Just because of the cardio issue, he could drown him. But striking, he'd be in trouble.
I think it would be tough for him to do that to John Dodson, who has decent cardio, faster, 100%. More heavier puncher. I think Dominic Cruz will be able to dance around him. You know what? I don't know, actually.
I think Dominic easily handles it.
Rob Font. I think Font would have a tough time. I think he would have a tough time trying to keep him off of him. That's the main thing. Cody Stamen,
that's a terrible matchup for Dvalishvili. Stamen? Skill set wise, that's horrible.
If it comes down to wrestling and pace and cardio, I think Dvalishvili could drown him too.
But the thing is, man, none of these guys are going to gas after 2 rounds against him. So I don't see him drowning.
It's tough to say that though, because how many times are they facing guys like a Dvalishvili who puts that pace and pressure on you to cause you?
Okay, it is pace and pressure, but he's so easy to hit.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he's very hittable. He's very hittable.
Other guys at least get out of the way, but he's just in your face. These straight cardio guys who have bad defense, they don't do well, man. They don't do well.
It's when he goes up against a really good striker like the O'Malley. Font, I could see absolutely clipping him and putting him out too. John Dodson, Song Yadong.
Like, keep the guy down and maul him.
Dominic Cruz, that's why I'm saying it. I might be iffy because Cruz isn't a power puncher. He might be able to land on him, but is he going to be able to keep him off of him?
Yeah, he would.
I don't think so.
Cruz's footwork, easy. I think
Cejudo did a really good job in terms of holding him, and holding him and keeping him in place and stuff, and good leg kicks too.
We're talking about Dvalishvili.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I want to see who he has next or how they continue to build him up.
I don't see it for I feel like Dvalishvili is the guy where I'm looking for him on the card to bet against him because as soon as he fights someone good and the odds might be skewed, I'm waiting for that moment. I'm not sold on him.
How would you have felt if he went up against Ray Borg this week like he was supposed to?
I don't. Probably the same because he's way bigger than Borg and they're essentially the same style, except he's probably got better cardio and is bigger. So he should win that fight 10 out of 10
It was almost a complete replicate of the previous fight that Borg had against Ricky Simon.
Exactly.
Bigger guy.
That's why I thought, I'm like, why is Borg taking this fight? This is horrible. Like, you just got out-grappled by a bigger dude, and this is what this guy does.
Merab was minus 400, minus 500.
Yeah, minus 360 I saw. Yeah, guaranteed I would take him.
All right, so main card now, we got Maria Agapova against Hannah Cyphers. I had the under 2.5 here. I was happy to finally hit that. Yep. Agapova, decent. Do you know who Tracy Cortez is?
I remember the name, but I don't know.
That's Agapova's only loss on the Contender Series. Okay. Cortez was able just to hold her, wrestle fuck her pretty much, which is why she won that. And poor Hannah Cifers, man. Her management needs to really fucking get their shit together because they are taking the worst fucking fights for her. Agapova, Mackenzie Dern, Angela Hill. I guess that was slightly winnable going into that.
This girl was too technically sound on the feet here, man.
Yes, and Cifers is also too small. They need a 105-pound division. They need tiny. One, dude. Carla Esparza, Michelle Watterson, Hannah Cifers. There's so many. Brianna Van Buren. There's a lot of girls, and especially the girls that are in Invicta too. There's a lot of people that they can bring over to populate the 105 division, especially more than the 145-pound division. Who the fuck is there left?
It literally makes no sense.
Who is left? They don't even have rankings for the 145 division.
There's a 145 for women, but not a 105. That blows my mind.
Get rid of 145. Just say Amanda Nunes is the forever 145-pound champion. Nobody's ever going to beat her. Bring in the 105ers so they can have competitive matchups. And in Invicta, they have fun fights. Like the 105ers are actually pretty fun.
136 and 137 and above, whatever. 136 and above is just women's heavyweight.
If anything,
that's what they should do. There is no fucking.
Could you imagine if like Kayla Harrison came into the UFC and fought like Amanda Nunes or something? I wouldn't mind that. All right, so good win for Agapova there. Jordan Espinoza against Mark De La Rosa. Didn't really give a fuck about this fight too. Seemed like Espinoza was able to be the quicker and faster one in this fight.
Like an easy 3-0.
Andre Feely goes out there and beats Charles Jourdain. Jourdain's just getting like this was too big of a step up for him, in my opinion. You know, he performed decent, but 145 are not too bad. Like,
but I mean, he did knock out what Korean Superboy. So
yeah,
I mean, so I guess kind of a good win.
It's a good win, I guess. I still think he has a ton of room to grow. Has to work on his wrestling a little bit more too, because I think that would be
honestly. It kind of felt like he gave the fight away. Like if he had a better pace, he would have won.
Yeah, I think he has a ton of potential. He's still quite young, though. I think he's only like 24 or 25, so we got to go there. Charles Rosa versus Kevin Aguilar. We're not going to talk much about this fight at all because we did deciding splits. So go check out the episode if you guys want to know how we scored that fight. Good win for Charles Rosa. Doesn't mean anything for anything.
Fuck this
not to mention, they're both 145ers and this fight was at 155. So there's that.
Fuck this fight.
All right. Co-main event.
Two fights I actually...
Co-main event. Marvin Vettori versus Carl Roberson. Vettori goes in there and absolutely
Drowns him.
Carl Roberson. Gets the rear naked choke at 4 minutes and 17 seconds.
I didn't know if he was going to get the finish, but I thought he was just going to dominate him on the ground all 3 rounds. Yeah. That's what I thought.
I'm kind of hitting myself a little bit for not really being more confident in the under 2.5. Yeah, I mean, considering the bad blood going into this fight, considering Carl Roberson missing weight.
However, I will say, based on Vittori's grounded pound, it was probably a good call not to take it because I mean, he was just irritating him. It wasn't to really hurt that much. It was more to irritate and open up the submission. So when you have a guy like that, it's very likely he can just do that for 3 rounds and get a decision.
I think Roberson was defeated going into the cage, though. You know what I mean? Like he knows he fucked up missing weight twice in a month. You know what I mean? He knows
and the guy was already pissed at you. Yeah. It's like, Jesus. And you knew this is the matchup. Like, you knew this guy's going to take you down.
Would you say this is a cuttable offense for Carl Roberson? How many fights has he lost now?
I mean, just because it's short notice, they won't cut him.
It's not really short notice, is it?
This was more... Oh, yeah, you're right. It's his rescheduled.
He scheduled to fight Vettori twice. Okay, he's only coming off of 1 loss. Okay, so maybe not. They'll probably still keep him around. Plus, he did them that Glover Teixeira... thing where he just stepped in on short notice to fight Glover at a higher weight class. But yeah, good win for Marvin Vettori. I'm still not 100% sold on him because people seem to be riding home thinking that this guy's like top contender, not top contender, but top contender worthy. Not sold on that yet. He still has a lot of work to do. Middleweight has a big enough pool for him to still have other fights out there to prove himself. So I'm fine with waiting out.
He mauled a shitty grappler on the ground.
Yeah. Is he ranked? No.
He's the only guy to get a split to almost beat
to Adesanya, yeah. All right, and then let's just get to the main event. So a lot of people thought the only way Calvillo was going to win this fight was inside the distance. Me being one of them. Well, actually, no. I didn't think that was our only way, but I did feel like a lot of people did think that was our only way because they thought they would gas and they thought Jessica was just going to be able to pick her up on the feet. I didn't see that. The amount of love that Jessica was getting before she missed weight was ridiculous. I don't understand what the fuck people saw, other than the fact that Jessica coming down. You know, she was a 135er before. Calvillo coming up. So she had the size advantage slightly. I think she had a bit of strength advantage there too, because when Calvillo had her back, man, she did a really good job of holding did that 2-on-1 and not allowing Calvillo to really get her hands out. Yeah, I thought once Calvillo got her back, okay, this is a wrap. She's going to be able to either TKO her or find a submission. Okay. But Jessica I did a really good job with her submission defense, so I'll give her that. But Calvillo, great wrestling, great timing. Her striking is looking better now too. She did 9 weeks at Tiger Muay Thai before this whole COVID thing happened, so she's trying to definitely work on that. I like her. I think she has some room to grow in the 125-pound division, but just do not throw her at fucking Valentina yet. Let her get in another 2 fights at least at 125. Let her get a bit more comfortable at this weight class, and then let's see about Valentina. But throwing Calvillo at Valentina this early, I'm not down with that.
No, it's almost like a disservice that she just beat number one, because now they're going to be like, where do you go? Like, you have to get the champ. Give her Chukagian. Good call
I like that call out from Chukagian.
Good fight.
This is a good fight for Calvillo to be like, okay, I'm going to really start to establish myself at 125. Calvillo just coming off a title loss, or she had a dominant victory over Antonina Shevchenko, but before that, coming off a title loss.
I like it. Both had good, solid wins. I think...
They should do JoJo. They should do JoJo and Valentina.
I didn't think she was going to get the finish here, though. Like,
I thought she would get the sub, or at least a TKO.
For as much as we don't fucking like her, and she is pretty crap, she's very conservative defensively and doesn't really get finished. Like, all her fights are decisions. So I did feel like...
It was once it hit the ground where I thought that Calvillo was going to run away with that fight.
I thought it would just be her, like, controlling and mauling her. I didn't think she would finish her.
Like the way she went ham on Marina Rodriguez last time they fought.
Third round?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, she's going to... she should be able to get this.
I like the matchup for Calvillo because you knew she had the big ground advantage, and then I just likes to point fight.
Yeah.
So you knew, like, and Calvillo's like, she's that gritty type of dog fighter, right? So when
she's more of a fighter than I.
When your only goal is to just point fight, even if Calvillo's not as good in the stand-up, she's just going to be in your face so much and probably eventually push the grappling that it didn't seem like a good matchup for I.
I was slightly concerned when that whole first round was strictly a stand-up fight, because there has been a fight in the past, I can't remember which one it was, where Calvillo was striking for the majority of it.
Yeah,
where you're
Esparza.
Like, even the Esparza fight, she would have a tougher time implementing her grappling because Esparza is a great grappler herself too, right? But I like, and then that second round, she really came to life. I think what was it, the third or the fourth round where she got her down almost immediately. Remember that round? I think it was the third or fourth round.
Whenever she went for the takedown, she got her down.
I thought she was going to get it done there, but she didn't. Credit to Jessica with her submission defense, or maybe her strength. Let's credit her strength a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because I think if it was a stronger grappler, they probably would have got the finish on Jessica. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the future of the 125-pound division, Jojo Calderwood was already scheduled to fight Valentina Shevchenko before this whole COVID thing. Let's do that again. Why not? You know what I mean? Jojo's in the U.S. Totally Val is in the U.S., I believe. They can definitely schedule that, or even do it at Fight Island if they want to do that. But Calvillo, let's do Chukagian, and probably at least one more fight, right? Where's that? There we go. So obviously Calvillo wasn't ranked because she was coming up a weight class. We got number 1 Jessica, who she just beat. Chukagian number 2, so that's a good matchup. Joanne Calderwood getting the title shot. Jennifer Maia is actually fighting a Viviane Araujo either next week or the week after that. So maybe the winner of that, actually that might even be a little bit.
She's probably going to get Chukagian. That seems, because they're both ready to go and coming off good wins.
It seems like if she gets the Chukagian win, they would give her the title shot after that, because there isn't nobody.
She'd be 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then the champion.
And she already beat Joanne Calderwood.
Who?
Calvillo. She has a winner over Calderwood, doesn't she?
Calvillo fought Underwood? Sorry.
Don't. I feel like you called her Underwood for a second. I'm like, he didn't call her Underwood. Right. No way. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Unanimous decision back in 2017.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. You don't remember shit.
Where did this fight come from? She beat JoJo. Interesting. So then she will have also beaten 1, 2, and 3 in the division. God.
So at that point, there's no... But dude, she would get murked by Valentina.
Stand-up would be really bad.
Like,
really
you want to talk about strength advantage?
That would be a prime matchup for Valentina to add to a highlight reel KO. Calvillo's the type of girl who's going to walk into something.
Yeah. No, I agree. Her striking is still a work in progress, and it is getting better, but it's not.
She's just got that grittiness in your face and that grappling to pull back. So even if you're out striking her, she can just rush you and then try and get you down, and in the process land stuff. So she's got that going for her.
What was the event last week that we missed recapping?
Yeah, Magny.
Magny Martin.
Who the fuck was the main event?
Was that did we talk about Burns? Yeah, we did talk about Burns Woodley.
It was the one after Burns Woodley.
What the
June 6th. What the hell?
Oh, the card, the UFC 250. Let's quickly go over that.
Nunes.
Yeah, we didn't get to do an episode last week, so let's just quickly go over UFC 250.
Nunes did what everyone thought she was going to do. Felicia Spencer is god-awful. Mm-hmm. And is just tough.
She is tough. Yeah, exactly. She's just tough. Big win for Cody Garbrandt.
But I mean, when your only thing is takedowns and your takedowns are that bad, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Big win for Cody Garbrandt. Good for him to get back on track. Aljamain Sterling goes out there and absolutely bum rushes and fucks Corey Sandhagen up.
Dude.
That's number one shot right there.
That Cody Garbrandt knockout, though, man. That level. Might be the most vicious.
The Sean O'Malley one was crazy, too, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing with the Cody one, right? I've never seen someone throw from the hip, wind up, and land that punch. You know what I mean? Anytime you see that, they always miss it. And you're like, whoa, imagine if that landed.
That's so true.
This one fucking landed.
I can't think of any other spot where it's like they had a legit wind up. Like, so evident.
It wasn't like in the process of like a combo. It was like, I'm just gonna wind this giant haymaker up and throw it at you and see what happens. Or one similar one was when Jeremy Stevens knocked out RDA. He just wound up the uppercut and sent him to hell, and RDA just didn't move. It was like, okay.
So he still has a little bit of work to do, though. Maybe Cody Garbrandt against Corey Sandhagen. I wouldn't mind that. Because
here's the thing.
Even though he's coming off a loss, it was a number one contender fight.
Cody's coming off. He's 1-3 now with 3 finishes in all of his losses, but he just KO'd number 5.
Yeah,
this guy's realistically probably only like one fight away from a title fight.
Could be.
As crazy as it is. Cody's that one guy, like 3 finishes in a row, but everyone still knows he's the top. He's the top guy. Like his skill wise is.
So he's number 5. We got Sandhagen ahead of him, Jan, Sterling, and Moraes.
Do you know what I personally just want to see?
Why not Garbrandt Moraes?
Do you know what I personally want to see? But it will never happen. But just for me, I feel like he needs to right the wrong of the Munoz. I would love to just see Cody go in there and do what he should have done to Munoz.
Well, Munoz is scheduled to fight Edgar, right?
Edgar, yeah.
Yeah. I like the Garbrandt and Moraes booking because I think that one would be good rankings wise. The only concern here is though, actually, Moraes moved on.
Moraes is calling out Cruz though.
Yeah,
and if I'm Dominic, I'm like, yes, please, number 1, so that if I beat this guy, I go right back into hell yeah, give me that.
The only roadblock that might come with Garbrandt and Moraes is that Moraes used to train with what's his face, Mark Henry, who's doing work with Cody Garbrandt now. But I think Moraes moved to ATT, I believe.
Did he?
I believe
Moraes
so.
Left Mark Henry.
I think even before this last fight, even before what was his last fight, the Aldo fight. I think before that one, he moved to ATT. But either way, Garbrandt. So who do you want Garbrandt to fight next? You want him to fight Munoz if Munoz gets past Edgar? I don't even know if Garbrandt really has much interest in that. Maybe he wants to get it back.
That's what I want to have happen, but I got to be realistic. That will never happen.
Why not Garbrandt Sandhagen?
That will never happen. That's actually not a bad matchup because
again, Sandhagen coming off a loss, but is a number 1 contender fight.
Yeah, even rankings wise and where they are in their career, it kind of makes a lot of sense.
Right? Or Moraes. I would love Garbrandt Moraes or Garbrandt Sandhagen. I think I'm
down with that.
Those are completely fine. Because for some reason, you got number 3 and number 6 fighting for the title. Number 3, I understand.
That's crazy.
Number 3, I understand. Number 6, I don't really get. They should just. I forgot who it was. I think it was Ray Longo. Ray Longo said it. He goes, "Yo, Sterling, just stay ready. Something might happen to Aldo. Yeah. If something happens to him, you're stepping in."
Aldo does pull out a lot too, and he's older.
Dude,
Sterling is ready though.
Where's 250? There's not much else to cover. O'Malley looked great,
but that Sterling Sandhagen fight, man, I thought Sandhagen would win. That was supposed to be the closest fight on the card, and then he just gets bull rushed.
Yeah.
And choked out. That was fucking impressive.
Caceres, big win. Finally popping the bubble of Chase Hooper. Fuck that.
Quick thing. Luke Thomas did a 21-minute breakdown on the Sterling Sandhagen fight.
Oh, wow.
And it is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Like, I highly suggest that one because...
How long did that fight? Yeah, 1:20.
Yeah, but he shows you so much... Like, after that, I'm like, holy fuck, this is super high level what Sterling is doing. Like, he's showing you the tiny things he's doing to set up the choke and get the choke that you're not seeing. And it's like, holy fuck, this is so much more impressive than you thought it was.
Mm-hmm. I'll definitely give that a look. That's the dissected show, right? Or dissected show.
What does he call it? Yeah, Morning Combat Dissected. Yeah. Morning Combat Dissected.
Anything else is there anything else that stood out to you on this card?
O'Malley, that knockout was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Move him up. I truly think this guy is going to be like top 5 very easily.
Give me give me a notable opponent for him to fight, and then I'll be on
the way
on board
he's
with that.
improving and how smart he is. The sky is the fucking limit
and
for this
calm.
guy. And he's 25
and calm. Like his demeanor is ridiculous.
His demeanor is very like even after the Wineland knockout, he's like, yo, listen, man, like I know you guys are surprised, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what the fuck I'm capable of. I will fuck everybody up. And I love that little demeanor about him. He's only 25, 26. And I like how he said, I believe I'm top 5. I could probably beat Cody Garbrandt right now, but I'm okay with proving it and working my way up. Like it's like everything. He just
got onto the rankings now. He's 15.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So
guy just plays video games, smokes weed, and trains.
I wouldn't mind him against maybe Song Yadong or John Dodson next. Dodson's coming off a victory.
Dodson. I love that fight.
Yeah.
Do it.
But I want to see him against a wrestler. I want to see him against a wrestler. Like that, I hope they don't Conor McGregor this guy to a title shot. You know what I mean?
Just stand up guys.
Let's call Dennis Seaver. What's Dennis Seaver doing?
Let's be real.
Okay, come. We got somebody for you.
Do you remember Joey Diaz's rant on that fight? And then they give him Dennis Seaver. Oh, Dennis Seaver. Oh, so scary. Oh, I was dying. But anyways, one possible matchup, I guess, could be Cody Stamen. Although
and O'Malley, I like that.
I think it's just too much for O'Malley. Like in terms of I don't think the UFC is going to go for that because it's like too much too soon. Plus, it's a bad style matchup. We don't want that.
Huge risk.
Yeah.
But let's in the bantamweight division. In the bantamweight
straight
division,
up, I think Dodson is the perfect one right now.
It's a good matchup.
It's perfect.
But in the bantamweight division, there isn't really anybody with like a Khabib style of wrestling, or other than Cody Stamen. Like Aljamain Sterling has really good grappling, but who has crazy good wrestling?
It's very stand-up dominated.
Right?
You are correct.
You got Cody Stamen.
Yeah,
and
you're
Sterling.
right.
That's it.
1 through 9, except for Sterling, they don't really grapple.
So maybe he's kind of lucky at this division that the majority of these guys are stand-up fighters.
But I love the Dodson fight. I think it's so perfect.
Yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world for where both guys are in their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Book it. Just book it.
Anything else that stand out to you? Great win for Alex Perez via leg kicks.
Chase Hooper should not be in the UFC. No. I said this to you while why you're watching this guy throw fights. He's got that noodle arm going. You know what I mean? No whip, nothing to it. Luke Thomas was saying too. Mm-hmm. Luke Thomas commented a bit. And he's like, dude, there's no fainting. He's just walking right in. So any type of UFC fighter is just going to be able to counter you all day. And that's all Caceres did. It was so easy. He's too young, 20 years old, too young to be in the UFC. Caceres was a bad matchup. Crazy was the underdog. But Chase Hooper should just take a lot of time off and train. And like I was telling you, if he still wants to maintain his UFC contract, take one fight a year against no names and just get better in between. Be 25 in that time.
Yeah.
He looks like a boy.
He needs
to move up a division when he gets some muscle on him. He's a boy.
His main issue is going to be getting strength, because that's the main thing. And in a lot of his fights, you see him go for numerous submission attempts because guys are able to defend him just by being stronger than it. That's it. Yeah. He has rear naked chokes locked in. He's relentless. But guys are able to peel the hands off because he's just not strong enough to fucking hold it.
He's relentless.
Dude, so he had his Contender Series fight, that Kanan Kauai guy. That was his Contender Series fight, in a fight that was quite back and forth. He wasn't able to finish Kanan because same reason I just told you, just not strong enough to finish his submissions. Then goes out there and gets a split decision draw against a guy who's 7-8. I saw that fight. It was not a good fight for him.
Oh, geez.
Not a good fight for him. Then he beats a 9-5 guy. So, after the Contender Series fight, he got a developmental contract with the UFC, which is when he started fighting for CFFC, who's on Fight Pass. He started fighting on Island Fights, who's on Fight Pass. Titan FC on Fight Pass. They just got him fights on these guys. As Sky 9-5, that guy's shit. Luis Gomez is his only good win before the UFC. Yeah. Luis Gomez is not that bad. He's actually a pretty good fighter. And then Daniel Tamor faced adversity in that fight, but Daniel Tamor has dog shit cardio, which is why he was able to get this ground and pound finish.
He was getting tuned up on the feet pretty badly in that fight.
And now you go in against Alex Caceres, how many fights does he have? 27 fights.
Minus 210 favorite. Huh? I know Caceres is super Caceres is the type of guy who could be competitive with number 5 and then the next day lose to number 30. Yeah. He's that guy.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it, but experience wise, man. And when you see the kid strike. It's like, what the fuck, dude? It looks like
There
he's
were
been striking
instances
for
where
5 months.
There's instances where Caceres was actually initiating the grappling too. I'm like, dude, do not even try.
Yeah, don't even bother.
Don't even do that. Just fucking keep it on the feet.
It was too easy for Caceres. If anything, that fight actually made Caceres look bad because you couldn't finish this guy.
Yeah. That's another thing.
Fuck.
Anything else that stands out to you on 250?
Real quick, nothing that stands out too much. Good for Stamen.
Yeah.
He had a tough day, but at least he got the win.
Yep.
Perez leg kicking for Miko was kind of cool. That was a nice little thing. Herbert Burns running through Dunham on the ground. That was a little surprising. Yeah, you would think
Dunham had solid jiu-jitsu, but Burns just made it look like absolute dog shit.
Yeah, he just ran through him.
Yeah.
It just in the transition. Nothing much. Nothing crazy.
Dude, they announced obviously the UFC 251.
Yes.
Probably one of the most stacked fucking cards in a long time. Let's go to the Tapology.
Yeah, I messaged you about this. They announced all 3 title fights at once. Like, huh?
Yeah, but they've been filling out that card, dude.
Okay, straight up though, Gilbert Burns' rise is like record time.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Adesanya.
No, but like in terms of how many months ago was it that he wasn't even in
the division,
the contender talk?
In the division either.
Yeah, and now he's the number 1 contender fighting for the title.
Yeah.
He wants to fight all the fucking time.
Yeah.
He took every goddamn opportunity thrown his way, and now it feels like he just debuted in the top 10 like 6 months ago.
So his last fight at 155 was against Mike Davis. Then he goes up to 170 to fight Alexei Kunchenko, who was 20-0 going into that fight.
I remember that fight. It was a tough fight. He had to clinch him against a cage and win it. Yep.
Comes back again a month later, a month later, a month and 2 weeks maybe, and beats Gunnar Nelson.
2 months later. His schedule is insane.
And then just had all these Quintet Ultra grappling things.
What the fuck is that? November 30th, then he fought 2 weeks later again?
No, this is all grappling bouts. Polaris, Quintet.
He just likes competing.
Yeah, and then Damian Maia.
How the fuck did he fight Eve Edwards?
Yeah, or Kazushi Sakuraba. Damian Maia knocks him out fucking in March. Then comes back and just absolutely whoops on Woodley. And now he's fighting Kamaru Usman for the title.
March he beat Maia. Before he beat Maia, he was not even in the top. March. And then by July, he's getting the title fight.
Yeah.
After what Masvidal did, who imagine in November where you're like, yo, you want to bet $100 that Gilbert Burns gets a title shot before Jorge Masvidal? Like right after the Nate Diaz fight. Imagine someone told you that.
Masvidal was just doing his own thing, which just trying to negotiate ridiculous numbers because he knows once he loses to Usman, because that is almost a lock. If there is a lock of the night, that is the fucking lock of the night. Kamaru Usman over Jorge Masvidal. But once he loses to him, that fire is going to be gone. That heat that he has right now is going to be gone.
And the UFC
and all the chips are in his court right now because he has a BMF title. He hasn't lost. But once he loses, all that's going to go away.
It's a bad matchup, and
horrible
if it is true that they're trying to offer him half the money, I get his point. I also get it from the UFC's point, though. It's like, Nate's a draw. Usman's not.
Yeah.
We're not going to generate as much money. You get less money.
And we're not getting gate either anymore.
Okay. Good thing you brought that up. But I get that point from Masvidal's perspective, but I also from the UFC's perspective, but I get Masvidal's point too, where it's like, why the fuck would I take a harder fight for half the money? Like, true. I get where he's coming from too. Now, one thing on the gate. This pisses me off when people don't give the full story. Yes, you're losing out on the gate, but you're also cutting costs by doing the events and the PI. That's true. If you're going to talk about the $100 million in revenue that you lost, how about you offset it with the money that you fucking saved in expenses too? That's what matters at the end of the day.
That is a good point.
So I don't like when Dana we're going to be losing out on $100 million. And okay, how much are you saving by doing the PI fights? A lot.
Another thing about the gate too, it's not the majority of the revenue that they bring in either, right? So that's another aspect of it so too.
And even, what does he talk about? $100 million in revenue.
Yeah.
What about the costs that cut into that revenue? Give me the net number. It's all insignificant. It's just dancing around it.
We're never going to get to a place where I don't think fighter pay will ever be fair. As long as the UFC is around, or even if they get Brian Stan to run the UFC, it might be a little bit of difference. But I don't think they're going to do that, especially with Ari Emanuel and those guys running this shit now. You're not going to get it. Those guys are too money hungry.
If it was still the Fertitos who owned it, I think it would be better because
there would be a slightly better chance of them getting better.
I think they kept it so low to grow the company as big as they did, reinvest in it. But at this point, they're keeping it so low because of all the debt.
Yeah.
That the new owners are taking. Whereas, like, if it was this big, plus it was still the Fertittas and they didn't have that much debt, I think they would, maybe not to 50%, maybe they only bring it to like 30, which would still be too low.
Yeah.
But I do feel like they would pay out more. Mm-hmm. Whereas right now, they're just like, no, we have tons of debt we have to cover first, so be stingy. And they're going to keep being stingy. Mm-hmm. It really should be like close to like 50% or even like 40%. If it goes up to 40%, everybody's salary doubles.
They should see, like, I wouldn't even mind, honest. Well, I guess they still want to eventually get fans back in. That's one thing that they're going to be working towards just because of the live experience that it always brings, right? But the amount of money that they could continue to save if they just did it out of the Apex or even keep this Fight Island thing going in Yas Island to have all the international fighters over there, that would be sick. They would save so much money and just allocate that money back to the fighters.
The PI is probably saving them a ton of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do them at the PI.
They're so lucky that they made that when they made it.
Yeah,
right?
At the time that they did.
Well, they made the PI, then they made the Apex, which is where the fights are. So it's same
the Apex
location
inside the PI?
Not necessarily. I think there is a little bit of a gap between them in terms of distance, but
I always wonder that.
Not the most. I think it's on like they have the UFC compound, and I think the Apex is a part of the compound.
Just on that piece of land. Okay, fair enough.
But dude, like let's just go over the card real quick. Obviously, 3 title fights at the top: Volkanovski, Holloway, Yan, and Aldo, and then Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns getting the title fight or getting the main event. First of all, with that being the main event, do you think that is the most deserving of being the main event?
Yes.
Out of the 3 fights,
yeah,
more than Holloway, Volkanovski.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Generally, when the hype levels are about the same for the title fights, it always defaults to the heavier weight.
5 of those 6 fighters all fought at UFC 245.
Oh, that's crazy.
Kamaru Usman, main event against Colby Covington.
Holloway
Alexander Volkanovski, Holloway.
It was the same one. Oh, wow.
Same card. And then Peter Yan finished Uriah Faber there.
Yeah, Faber on that card.
And
damn, that's
Aldo fought, who the fuck? Moraes. Yeah.
Was on that card.
They're all on UFC 245, which is such a trip.
That's interesting. But yeah, I think it's the rightful main event. Because
I agree.
Unless the smaller division is like this big hype fight, it's never going to main event.
They did it. I know they did it with... was it?
I remember it was a bantamweight fight over a featherweight. Yeah.
Barao and Faber over Aldo and Lamas.
That's what it was. Aldo and someone.
156.
Yep.
And I feel like they did it with... no, what was the main event? Adesanya and Gastelum or Volkanovski? No, Holloway and Poirier. What was the main event?
Adesanya Gastelum was
the main event. Yeah, and then Holloway Poirier was right under that.
Yeah.
But yeah, good main event. I like Usman and Burns. That's a great fight.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of hoping Aldo pulls out and we get Sterling.
I agree.
That's the right thing to do.
I agree. I think I'm going to be putting all the money on Kamaru Usman.
Minus 210. I don't know, man.
Dude, the only reason Burns looked like he had great cardio is because of Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley does nothing in fucking return.
Cardio. I have good cardio.
I know, but there's no offense or anything that Gilbert Burns is really worrying about or anything coming back from him. Based on what Kamaru Usman is going to do to Burns.
I haven't even thought about this matchup, and I kind of just did, and you're kind of right. I mean, Usman's bigger, stronger.
He's going to clinch fuck him. I think it's just mainly going to be a clinch fuck up against
Bigger,
Gage.
stronger. The striking's probably even. Maybe Burns.
I'd give the slight power advantage to Usman in terms of punching power.
Cleaner output might be Burns. I don't even know. I don't even know if that's the case.
They have the same coach. Like they're from the same camp.
So the stand-up could be a wash. Usman is bigger and probably has the better cardio, and he's the stronger grappler. Yeah, you're kind of right. This is a bad matchup for Burns. It's a hard fight for him.
I think people are buying way too much into the hype of Burns, and I bet on Burns against Woodley. I knew he was going to go out there and beat him, or at least I thought he was going to go out there and beat him. But this is a really bad matchup against Kamaru Usman.
Bad matchup. You're
right. It's almost like Usman against Maia again, but Maia just having better striking. So don't take this fight to the ground. Don't fuck around on the ground, but just clinch fuck him. Clinch fuck him up against the cage and wear him out that way. And then maybe in rounds 4 and 5, take him down and just TKO him that way.
Now that I've actually thought about this, you're kind of right. Minus 210 for Usman is fantastic.
I thought it should be minus 300, minus 400. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm totally on board with that.
There's a weird picture actually that surfaced of Gilbert Burns. Kamaru Usman. There's a picture of after Usman wins a title or something. Where is it? Yeah, I'm probably not going to find it. But there's a picture where after Usman wins, I think it was on the regional scene, Gilbert Burns is actually carrying him out on his shoulders.
Oh, wow.
Because he fucking like cornered him for that fight. That's such a trip. But yeah, they're training partners. Henry Hoof said he's not going to be there, so he's just going to stay home and watch it because he was the coach. I'm
just glad they're both cool with it. They get it.
It's business. Right?
They would only fight for a belt.
Jessica Andrade against Rose Namajunas too. Great fight.
Yes, thank God. Yep. I feel like Rose needs to correct that wrong. She should have won that fight, man. One mistake.
Huge kudos to Paige Van Zandt for taking this Amanda Ribas fight, especially if she actually steps into the cage and does it, because this is the last fight on her contract. She's more than likely not going to come back to the UFC, and she's going to just lower her value if she loses.
That's a bad
matchup.
Bad matchup.
She's going to get murked.
Bad matchup.
What's the odds? I think the odds are pretty heavily in favor of Ribas, minus 650.
Yeah, I mean, what is Paige doing?
Yeah. Munoz against Edgar, great fight. Volkan Oezdemir against Jiri. I can't say his name, but he's...
Oh, yeah, this is the
Rising guy. Yeah.
He's knocked out King Mo.
He got knocked out by King Mo and knocked him out. Is it 26-3 that he is, or 20-3?
Yeah, he's got a very good record.
26-3-1. Just Merck, CB Dalloway, Fabio Maldonado, Mohamed Wall, Brandon Halsey, Jay Kuhn. He's been fighting over in the European scene for a long time. Beaten Vadim Nabkov, who has this crazy...
Yes. Nabkov has the win over Phil Davis.
Yes. And Rafael Carvalho. Jiri's looking good. It's a great first fight for him to like really assert himself in the 205-pound division, especially if he's able to beat Volkan Oezdemir.
Right off the bat, you get like number 6. Hell yeah.
Yeah. This guy's decent. Zumagulov against Sahalin Paiva. Paiva, do you remember him when he knocked the fuck out of Mark De La Rosa? That was a great fucking fight. Vanessa Miller Rosa, not decent fight. Makwan Amir Khani against Danny Henry. That's a solid fight. I like Amir Khani always. And then Leonardo Santos against Roman Bogotov. But the main card and those from Volkan Oezdemir up.
Fantastic card.
Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 firefights out of 11 of them. That's not that bad. It's a solid card. I'm really looking forward to it.
That's a fantastic card, yeah.
So we have June...
When is this card?
July 11th.
Okay.
So we got June 20th coming up, which is, what's the main... Blades and Volkov.
It's so crazy. This card is just announced. It's like less than a month away.
Yeah. Blades Volkov next week. Then we have something on the 27th. I forgot what that is. Then we have a week off.
Oh, what is
Then we're back at it.
I thought we were done with
it. I know. I thought we were too. But we come back with this card, July 11th. Then there's a Wednesday card, July 15th. Then there's a Saturday card, July 18th. And then I think they're back again July 25th.
Dana did, I believe, because right now they're restricted to only doing Vegas events, so they have a limited roster to choose from. That's why you see guys getting fights 2 weeks later.
Yeah. Guys are staying active as fuck.
As soon as Fight Island or Yas Island opens up, then they have access to all their roster to fight. And I think after that point, we're going to start to see all these cards.
They have 4 fights scheduled right now for Fight Island.
Yes,
I think within from July 11th to July 25th.
After cards. July 11th, I don't think we'll get a weekend off. Like at that point, he'll have the ability to book everybody.
July 25th, August 1st. Yeah, there seems to be a gap between. There might be a fight night that gets put between August 1st and August 15th. 252 Cormier Stipe, which is good. But hold on, I just want to see what the main event of the 27th is. Oh yeah, Hooker Poirier. Great fight.
Yes.
Great fucking fight. I'm glad that they're doing that. All right. Anything that you wanted to touch on to finish this off? There's a headline here that actually caught my eye. Oh yeah, a lot of people are accusing Jessica of cheating with the towel. I didn't see it. I watched the weigh-in like over and over again. I did not see where she fucking could have.
Apparently, from what I can gather, when the towel was in front of her hands
were holding.
She might have just been like pinching,
probably
holding the towel from the inside.
But you would assume people holding the hoop could feel that and would probably tell her to not do it.
Did you see it? It was like some 2 random women. I know. I'm like, these are probably like volunteers who don't even know what UFC is. Yeah, like it doesn't look like they had
it's just heavy.
Yeah, they didn't. It's not like they had officials there. Calderwood called her out pretty bad because apparently I was like 3 pounds or 4 pounds over half an hour before. And then suddenly she's only a quarter pound over. What the fuck happened?
I think it was I's manager who texted people saying that she's about 3 pounds over.
Yeah,
but she's still going to come in and weigh in, and she only ended up being 0.25 over.
Yeah, that's Calder was calling her out about the towel pinching. So.
Yeah.
Who cares? Honestly, that to me is That's not a fighter cheating. Hey, commissions, do fucking better, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
we've had too many instances. We had the Cormier thing, we had the Gastelum thing, and now this.
It's not like it's hard to stop.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just make sure that there's space and everyone, or dude, hands up should be the rule when you weigh in. When the towel gets brought up, hands in the air.
I understand the accuracy behind having one of that brick and mortar fucking scale that they have, like that.
Yeah.
The old school one. Yeah. Just get a digital one. But it's 2020.
When you're dealing with like decimal points like that, it's apparently just.
But there's certain like you should have like maybe 3 or 4 scales, and they should all say the same thing. You know what I mean? Like there should be ways to do a trial and error of it to be like, okay, this scale is as accurate as it could possibly be. We're in 2020.
You would think so.
We're in 2020.
You would think so.
Have the fucking we just need somebody to read the number. You don't need anybody fucking hitting anything. Just have the number appear as soon as the person steps on the scale.
Like, why, if you really need that type of scale for accuracy, like what you're saying, why don't you just have a scale like that, but that also just has a fucking digital screen that shows the weight? Like, if you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about just output.
Yeah.
The machine already knows what the weight is. Just tell it to show it as a digital screen. So you're kind of right in that sense. Like, why the fuck is that so difficult?
DC, and last thing, I'll end off on this. On DC and Hawani on one of their episodes, DC was talking about, remember when he had the whole Towergate thing?
Yeah.
He goes, all I did, like I weighed in and then I went back into the back, and then my nutritionist is like, just think light and go out there. Just think light. And then Cormier's like, I thought light and I fucking came on a fucking pound and a half.
If I was him, okay, please tell me after he retires, we need to ask him again. Once he retires, I want to hear the real answer. He can't get in trouble.
Still in play? Yeah.
Take my license away. Cool. He can't get in trouble once he's retired. Yeah. Let's ask him again after the Stipe fight.
I agree.
Stipe DC3 finally announced. Just a quick thing. Yeah. Super excited and worried.
All the money on Stipe or on DC again.
I'm praying and hoping to the MMA gods that DC wins. DC wins. He goes down. He solidifies his legacy as the greatest heavyweight.
Sorry, did you see the odds? Do you know what the odds are?
I'm going to assume. Okay, you know what? I'm good at this.
Hit me. Let's do this game. I love this game.
I'm gonna go minus 200 Stipe, plus 160 DC.
In that case, usually you would want to put money on Stipe, if that's what you think it is, because it's minus 120 Cormier, plus 100 Stipe.
Wow. Okay.
So based on what you think the odds should be is what you should be betting on, right?
I thought the reason I thought the odds would be that is because I thought people were going to overvalue Stipe's win because he got the last win. It seems like they're not. It seems like they're more going for the fact that DC was winning the whole fucking fight and then got lost at the end because he fought stupid.
It opened as a pick'em, and it got down to minus 140, and now back up to minus 120 for Cormier. But I'm still confident in Cormier. I'm still playing.
If you watch both fights play out, aside from that 2.5 minutes in the fourth round, Stipe lost everything.
Yep,
he was totally losing. If DC tried, what is it with DC? He's done this a couple of times now in the Gus fight and the Stipe fight. He dominantly wins the first round with wrestling and then never goes for a takedown again for the other 4 rounds. You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's actually working a little bit with Mark Henry for this fight too.
Oh, that's
another thing.
I hope it doesn't throw him off.
I hope not. But he goes, the first time I worked with him, I was absolutely blown away. He had every combination that Stipe threw against me. He goes, he had all this shit written down for me, things we can do to address the body punches, all that stuff. He had it ready for me, and I only worked with this guy once ever.
And DC was already winning that fight. If he just went for takedowns and fucking actually did something when Stipe started punching him in the body, he just didn't do anything. Oh God, it was brutal. But I really hope DC wins, rides off into the sunset, becomes our favorite commentator. He's already close to it.
He is,
He's amazing. He would go down as, I guess he would be listed as the greatest heavyweight ever with that win.
Which is kind of weird. He didn't.
It doesn't feel like he's had this long.
He beat Stipe, lost. He beats Stipe, beats Derek Lewis, loses to Stipe. And we're just talking about heavyweight.
But then Stipe is the other contender, and if you beat him twice,
but I guess you can also take into
his
consideration his strike first run, and
those are name heavyweights.
His first couple UFC fights, Frank Mir, Roy Nelson.
Those are still name heavyweights at the time, so you got to take his.
What he did to Josh Barnett when he fucking fought him.
Exactly, 100%.
All right, Holly Holm against Irene Aldana, August 1st, main event, by the way.
I can't. There's just lots of fighters are frustrating to watch, but Holly Holm, Tyron Woodley, these types of, they're just the worst to watch because you're like, fucking do something. Yeah. Like, why is Holly Holm so nervous every fight? She looks like she's about to vomit.
The Nunes fight was
so
weird.
nervous.
Yeah.
She's so tense all the time. Even Kenny Florian brings it up. He's like, I don't fucking get it. After all these fights,
I remember his breakdown of that Pennington fight.
Yeah, he's like, how are you like this still? So yeah, who gives a fuck when Holly Holm fights at this point? She's like 38, 39, it's over.
Well, they were saying that Aldana probably would have been next for Nunes, but I guess right after that Nunes fight, they announced this Holm fight. So I think if Aldana beats Holm, she's probably going to be next for 135.
Sure.
Nunes versus Aldana. Aldana went out there and wrecked Caitlin Vieira, who was another girl that a lot of people thought that she was going to be the next
She also
one.
just clipped her. It doesn't really say that much.
Kind of still beat her.
She did. But like honestly for Nunes, people talk about like, oh, she has nothing left to do, just retire. For me, I'm just like, you're so much better. Just keep collecting your $1 million plus paychecks to beat the fuck up on Aldana and Felice Spencer. Yeah. It's easy. You're in your prime.
Yeah.
Cash in.
Yeah.
Then when a top contender starts to emerge, then retire.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I'm done.
I'm out. I've already done everything.
Yeah. It's such a trip that her wife's name is Nina Nunes.
Yeah, I don't like that change.
It's when
they said Nina Nunes, I'm like, God, why did
Nina
you do
Nunes.
this?
Nina Nunes.
Plus, it's weird because it's like they're almost telling you that she's the butch, she's the woman.
Of course.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so Nunes is like the man of the relationship. Are you telling us that?
She's the man.
It's strange. Just keep your own last name. Now we have to be confused when you come back to fight. Because all of her fights are it's gonna be like Nunes versus Suarez, and you're like, Amanda Nunes is fighting Tatiana Suarez. What the fuck is going on here? No,
it is a trip actually when I'm putting together the tape index and I go back and try to find these women's old, like Lauren Murphy. She recently got married or some shit, like within the last 5 years. So before she had her last name was something else. I don't even remember.
It was like Cyborg was Justino. Before that, she was Cyborg. She got divorced. She was with the other Cyborg Santos. It's like, yo, can you just keep the name?
Paige is doing it. Paige is keeping the same. Paige Van Zandt.
Yeah, if anything, it would be Austin Van Zandt now.
Just ask Brian Tate. I'm sure he knows.
you know? AVZ. That's what he is.
I love it. All right. As you guys can tell, we did go a full week without an episode, so we need to fucking catch up on all this shit. We'll be back next week to recap UFC. I guess they're calling it Vegas 3. And that's what they're going with.
Dude, yesterday, oh my God. It took me 5 minutes to find out the title of this card yesterday so I could pull it up. Because I'm like, okay, what is it called? Calvillo versus I. No searches. I'm like, it's not called that? What the fuck? UFC. Then finally, I just typed in UFC and went to like what's recent.
Yeah.
And one person said Vegas 2.
Yeah.
But then it's actually called UFC on ESPN plus 10. That's what it's actually called on Wikipedia.
I was along for the ride with those like UFC on ESPN plus 1. Yeah, I was okay, but then it just started to get a little bit too much, especially when there was the whole COVID thing going on and they didn't know what to title these fucking fights anymore.
Need two. You need the pay-per-view numbering, and you need Fight Night 1, Fight Night 2, Fight Night 3. They're only pay-per-views and fight nights.
Even that, I don't mind doing like UFC London or UFC.
I like
Vegas.
the numbering. I do like the numbering.
I don't mind the city anymore. Or even if they do like if it's another year that they're going back to the same place, UFC London 2020.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I personally just like the numbering because it's like easy to
they're at
compare.
Fight Night 180 something now or something like that.
But
right?
then that's separate from the ESPN. No. Pay-per-view number the pay-per-views and then number the fight nights 2. That's it. What the fuck is all this shit? Nobody knows what it's called.
All right. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, do all that shit, and then check out the Deciding Splits episode for we did that boring ass episode of Aguilar against Charles Rosas. So check that out. Just check it out. Just give it a view. That's it. Just give it a view. That's it. That's all we're asking. Give it a thumbs down. I don't even give a fuck. Just
give it a view and skip to the end and see what we say.
That's it. Exactly. All right. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for joining us as always.